Most people yearn for success, but few are ready to do what it demands. If you aim to shine, evolve, and truly accomplish something remarkable, you must tackle tough tasks daily. The reality is, dodging struggle also means dodging triumph. But if you're prepared to exceed your boundaries, follow these steps to seize the success you've been pursuing. 1. Doing what is hard. Every major achievement starts with a decision, a choice to leave ease behind and embrace the challenging. This is the steadfast law of success, woven into the core of human advancement. The divide between those who reach greatness and those who settle for average lies in one truth: their willingness to do what others shun. The masses chase comfort, security, and the familiar path, but history doesn't applaud those who stay within safe limits. It celebrates those who explore the unknown, stand resolute against hardship, and show unwavering resolve to turn struggle into victory. The mind, when focused and disciplined, becomes the mightiest force known to humanity, yet it grows strong only through resistance. Just as a blacksmith tempers steel with flames, the mind must be shaped through trials. The great industrialists, inventors, and thinkers who transformed the world didn't seek the smooth path. They picked routes laden with obstacles, knowing that struggle fosters growth and hardship sparks change. When you choose the difficult, you distinguish yourself from the crowd, build resilience, and craft a mind immune to failure. Those who avoid discomfort may never uncover their full potential, as they never test its edges. But those who embrace the discipline's pain will soon enjoy the rewards of persistence. The universe bows to those who refuse to yield. The fight for success isn't waged only in the outer world, it's battled within the mind. Doubt, fear, and fatigue will lure you to abandon the quest. In these moments, the real test arises: will you press on or pull back? That choice alone will mold your destiny. Every leader, innovator, and person who has left a lasting imprint on history has faced this turning point, feeling exhaustion, failure, and doubt, yet they endured. They knew that just beyond the edge of pain lies the reward most will never witness. When the mind locks onto a clear goal and backs it with relentless persistence, nothing is impossible. It's not enough to dream or hope. Action is the link between vision and reality. Action, taken despite discomfort, becomes the spark for transformation. Greatness is reserved for those who dare to persevere. The only question left is, will you be one of them? 2. Why comfort is the enemy of growth. Most people spend their lives hunting comfort, seeking safety and avoiding risk, unknowingly binding themselves to mediocrity. Comfort is misleading, lulling you into complacency and convincing you that you're secure and content. But security and contentment are illusions when they sacrifice growth. Look around. Every great innovation, every success tale, emerged from discomfort. The entrepreneur who staked everything, the athlete who trained past exhaustion, the artist who poured their heart into their work despite rejection. These people refused to let comfort shape them. They understood that comfort, though attractive, is the foe of progress. The mind, like a muscle, strengthens when tested and weakens when idle. Those who settle for ease never tap into their true capacity because they never push beyond their limits. But those who welcome discomfort develop resilience, forge a steadfast mindset, and become the builders of their own fate. The world doesn't reward those who stay still, it rewards those who advance despite the odds. When the Wright brothers aimed to master the skies, they met skepticism. When Henry Ford transformed the automobile industry, he faced ridicule. When Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before perfecting the light bulb, the world deemed him foolish. Yet these men pursued something greater than comfort, embracing hardship knowing greatness lay beyond struggle. Most won't take this path, clinging to what's known and safe, telling themselves tomorrow is a better start or the risk too high. Years pass and they ponder why they never reached their dreams. But for those who grasp this truth, the decision is clear. Growth occurs when you push past the familiar, daring to challenge yourself and step into the unknown. It's in moments of discomfort, when you're drained, doubtful, or tempted to stop, that you're nearest to transformation. The gap between achievers and non-achievers isn't intelligence, talent, or luck. It's the readiness to do what's hard, persist when others withdraw, and trade temporary ease for lasting fulfillment. So, which will you pick? The safety of stagnation or the discomfort of progress? One holds you in place, the other lifts you where you need to go. Your answer will shape your future. 3. The key to overcoming challenges. The path to success isn't lined with ease, it's strewn with obstacles, failures, and setbacks. But these aren't cues to retreat, they're evidence you're on the right track. No one who has attained greatness has done so without struggle, and no empire has risen without resistance. Every failure, defeat, and hardship is a stepping stone to something greater if you choose to see it that way. The greatest asset you can develop is resilience, the ability to rise after every fall and push on when everything within you urges you to quit. This quality separates victors from dreamers. The weak give up at difficulty, the strong use it as fuel. The greatest minds, pioneers of industry, and visionaries of change faced hardship beyond measure but refused to let it define them. Instead, they let it refine them. Picture the tallest tree in the forest. It didn't grow strong because it faced no tests. It grew strong because it weathered storms, bending but not breaking as winds tried to uproot it and rains tried to drown it. So it is with you. Your trials aren't meant to destroy you, they're meant to fortify you. Resilience is your shield against failure, the force that carries you forward when motivation wanes, and make no mistake, motivation will wane. The initial thrill of a new goal, the fire that burns at the start, will fade, and when it does, most stumble. But those with resilience continue, even when the journey grows rough and success seems far off. They know the prize isn't won in a flash of inspiration but in the endurance of struggle. Here's the truth: resilience isn't innate, it's built in moments when you refuse to surrender. Every time you face adversity and persist, you strengthen it. Every time you fall and rise again, you boost your capacity to handle greater challenges. History confirms this. Edison failed thousands of times before perfecting the light bulb. Lincoln faced defeat after defeat before rising to the presidency. Ford was mocked before revolutionizing the automobile industry. Had they given up, their names would be lost, their impact erased. But because they endured, they etched their place in history. The question is, will you endure or surrender? The world is full of those who quit, letting fleeting discomfort dictate their fate. But for those who persist, refusing to accept failure as final, there's no limit to what can be achieved. Choose wisely, for in that choice lies your destiny. For goal setting. Success isn't a fluke, it's the outcome of clear, intentional action, and that action starts with a goal. Without a goal, you're like a ship without a rudder, drifting aimlessly at the mercy of the wind. No great achievement has ever stemmed from mere chance. Every towering success story begins with a definite chief aim, a vision so vivid and compelling it becomes an obsession. The most successful people aren't just dreamers, they're doers. They don't sit idly hoping luck finds them. They set clear targets, break them into doable steps, and take relentless action. This is the recipe for achievement. It's not talent, luck, or privilege that decides who rises to greatness and who stays in mediocrity. It's the discipline to set a goal and chase it with steadfast persistence. You must do the same. Decide exactly what you want, be precise. Vague wishes lead to vague results. A man who simply hopes to be successful will never achieve it because he hasn't defined what success means to him. But the man who declares with firm conviction that he will earn a specific sum, build a particular business, or master a certain skill has taken the first step toward making it real. Once you've chosen your goal, write it down. The act of writing solidifies thought, turning an idea into something concrete. A goal that lingers only in the mind is a wish, but a goal written with clarity becomes a pledge, a contract with yourself you must uphold. But a goal alone isn't sufficient. You must craft a plan. Break your goal into manageable steps, each actionable, measurable, and time-bound. Success isn't built in a day but in the small, steady efforts that accumulate over time. The most accomplished individuals grasp this. They focus not just on the end result but on the daily actions needed to reach it. And most crucially, take action every single day. A plan without action is futile. The world is full of dreamers who never act, wishers who never move, waiting for the perfect moment or chance. But perfection is a myth. The only way forward is through action. Imperfect, relentless action. Don't let fear or doubt freeze you. The man who hesitates, second-guesses, or waits for approval stays put, never advancing. But the man who acts, learns from setbacks, adjusts his approach, and persists despite hurdles is the one who molds his destiny. Because a goal without action is just a dream, and dreams don't change the world. Action does. Purposeful, determined, disciplined action. The choice is yours. Will you be the dreamer who waits or the doer who achieves? 5. The power of self-belief. There's a force stronger than talent, more vital than intelligence. Belief, the unshakable conviction that you can accomplish whatever you set your mind to. Talent alone isn't enough. Intelligence alone isn't enough. The world is filled with people of remarkable ability who never reach their full potential because they lack belief. They let doubt taint their dreams, heeding voices that say they're not good enough, and so they stay stagnant, trapped by their own thoughts. You must not make that error. The only limits that exist are those you accept. Success isn't reserved for the lucky few, it's open to anyone who dares to claim it. But before the world can believe in you, you must believe in yourself. Even when no one else does, even when failure urges you to stop, even when every circumstance seems opposed. Because success starts in the mind, it's first born in thought before it appears in reality. If you can envision it, feel it, truly believe it, you can achieve it. This isn't mere optimism, it's a core truth of accomplishment. Every great feat in history was first a thought, a vision held so firmly in the mind of its creator that nothing could dislodge it. Edison believed in the light bulb long before it lit a room. Ford believed in the automobile before it transformed the world. The Wright brothers believed in flight before a plane ever took off. They didn't wait for evidence or seek permission. They believed, and their belief became reality. But belief isn't passive. It's not just wishing for success and waiting for it to come. True belief demands action, requiring persistence, determination, and the will to overcome obstacles. When setbacks arrive, and they will, belief keeps you moving forward, turning failure from a dead end into a stepping stone. Most people give up at the first sign of trouble, seeing failure as proof they're incapable. But those who truly believe see failure as a lesson, a vital step on the path to success. They don't let doubt take hold or allow fear to steer their actions. They push on, knowing that belief, paired with relentless effort, becomes an invincible force. So what will you choose? Will you let doubt rule your destiny, or will you nurture the unshakable belief that you're meant for something greater? The choice is yours, and in that choice lies the key to your future. Dare to believe, picture your success before it occurs, act with conviction. Because those who believe in themselves, reject limitations, and cling to their vision despite every barrier, these are the people who alter the world. 6. Turning struggles into triumphs. Passion is the fuel that turns obstacles into stepping stones, the fire that burns within those who refuse to settle for average. When you're passionate about something, no setback is powerful enough to stop you, no failure is permanent. Passion transforms adversity into opportunity and turns the unattainable into the inevitable. Without it, success is short-lived and ambition wanes. Look at those who have changed the world. They weren't driven by wealth or motivated by fame. They were fueled by passion. The great inventors, pioneers of industry, revolutionaries of thought didn't work just for profit. They worked because they believed in something larger than themselves. Edison was tireless in harnessing electricity, failing thousands of times but never losing sight of his vision. Ford persisted despite mockery when bringing the automobile to the masses. The Wright brothers overcame doubt and failure because their passion for flight lifted them above resistance. Passion is the force that divides wishers from achievers. When you're truly passionate, quitting is never an option. Those without passion surrender at the first hint of difficulty, viewing failure as the end rather than the start. But those with passion see failure as a lesson, a brief detour on the road to success. They use setbacks as fuel to propel them forward. Every obstacle becomes a challenge to conquer, not an excuse to withdraw. Find that thing that ignites your soul, something that keeps you awake at night, fills your mind with ideas, and drives you to act even against the odds. A man without passion drifts through life uninspired and unfulfilled, but a man who has found his passion becomes unstoppable. He wakes each day with purpose, eager to move closer to his vision, needing no outside motivation because his passion fuels him from within. But passion alone isn't enough. It must be supported by discipline, persistence, and action. Passion without effort is merely a dream. The world is full of those who talk about what they love but never take steps to turn dreams into reality. Passion must be channeled, directed, and sustained through steady effort. Pursue your passion relentlessly. Don't wait for the perfect moment, for perfection is a fantasy. Start where you stand with what you have. Let your passion lead you, drive you, make you fearless in the face of adversity. Because a life without passion is a life half-lived, and those who live with passion, committing fully to their purpose, are the ones who leave their mark on the world. The question is, will you be one of them? 7. Embracing failure as a stepping stone. Failure isn't the opposite of success, it's part of success. Every failure you meet isn't a signal to stop but a lesson to absorb, a test of your resolve, a stepping stone on your journey toward achievement. The greatest men in history, innovators, leaders, pioneers, have failed more often than they succeeded, yet their failures didn't shatter them, they built them. Edison failed over 10,000 times before perfecting the electric light bulb, each failure bringing him closer by teaching what didn't work. Ford faced bankruptcy before revolutionizing the automobile industry. Lincoln endured numerous political losses before becoming a revered president. These men didn't let failure define them, they let it refine them. The only true failure is quitting. As long as you keep going, you haven't failed, you've only learned. Every setback holds the seed of an equivalent or greater opportunity. The man who grasps this never lets defeat crush him. Instead he asks, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this experience? And in doing so he turns failure into a potent tool for success. Most people see failure as an end, facing one setback and convincing themselves success is unattainable. They internalize failure, eroding their confidence and dimming their ambition. But failure isn't proof of incapacity, it's an invitation to improve. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is simple. Successful people keep moving forward no matter how often they fall. Failure is a teacher, exposing weaknesses to strengthen, strategies to adjust, and mindsets to shift. It compels you to build resilience, cultivate patience, and refine your approach. The man who accepts failure as part of the journey will ultimately reach his goal. The man who fears failure will never take the initial step. There's no shame in failing, the only shame is in refusing to rise again. If you stumble, fall, or face barriers that seem insurmountable, remember that every great success story is written in chapters of failure. The question isn't whether you'll fail, it's how you'll respond. Will you let failure defeat you or will you use it to bolster your resolve? The answer decides whether you'll achieve greatness or join those who gave up too soon. Success belongs to the man who refuses to quit, seeing failure not as a curse but as a gift, a necessary step toward victory. So take courage, embrace failure, let it teach you, mold you, and propel you forward. Because as long as you persist, you haven't truly failed, you've only prepared for success. 8. The role of continuous learning in achieving greatness. The day you stop learning is the day you stop growing. Knowledge is power and the bedrock upon which all success is built. No man has ever achieved greatness by staying satisfied with what he already knows. The mind, like a muscle, must be exercised constantly, nourished with new ideas, honed by experience, and polished through the pursuit of wisdom. Those who stop learning, believing they've reached the height of their knowledge, unknowingly start to decline. The most successful people are lifelong learners. They never assume they know enough. They read eagerly, soaking up wisdom from those who came before, seek mentors who've traveled the paths they aim to follow, and invest in personal growth, knowing each new lesson adds a weapon to their arsenal. They recognize that ignorance is the greatest barrier to progress and protect against it by continually expanding their grasp of the world. Consider the most influential minds in history. Edison, despite his genius, never ceased experimenting or learning from failures. Ford surrounded himself with those who knew more, keeping his business ahead. Carnegie built his empire not because he had all the answers but because he sought knowledge from those who did. Each understood that success relied on their ability to learn and adapt. Never be content with what you know today. The knowledge that brought success yesterday may not carry you tomorrow. The world changes, industries shift, new ideas arise, and those who refuse to learn are left behind. Those who stay open to growth, relentlessly seeking new knowledge, place themselves at the forefront of success. But knowledge alone isn't enough, it must be applied. A man may read 100 books or hear 1,000 lectures, but if he doesn't act on what he learns, his knowledge is as valuable as ignorance. The true strength of learning lies in its use. Wisdom is judged not by what you know but by what you do with it. Make learning a daily practice. Read something worthwhile every day, surround yourself with people who challenge your thinking, study those who've achieved what you seek, write down lessons learned, and apply them in your pursuit of success. Don't let a day pass without gaining new knowledge, for in doing so, you ensure continued growth. Because your potential is boundless and knowledge is the key to unlocking it. The man who commits to lifelong learning will always rise above the man who thinks he knows enough. The question isn't whether you can succeed, it's whether you'll keep seeking the knowledge that makes success certain. 9. Taking action. Dreaming is simple, talking is simple, but action divides the successful from the unsuccessful. The world is full of men with great ideas, who speak passionately of their ambitions and claim they'll accomplish grand things. But ideas without execution are pointless, and words without action carry no weight. Success is reserved for those who take deliberate, steady action toward their goals. You can possess all the knowledge in the world, but if you don't act, it's worthless. Knowledge alone doesn't build empires, generate wealth, or bring success. The man who reads 100 books on success but never applies what he's learned will always be outdone by the man who reads one and acts upon it. Action is the bridge between knowledge and achievement, the force that turns dreams into reality. Too many people delay, waiting for the perfect moment, ideal conditions, or aligned stars, but the truth is there's no perfect moment. It never was, never will be. Conditions will never be flawless, and waiting leads only to lost time. Those who succeed aren't those who wait but those who act despite uncertainty. They know progress comes not from delay but from motion. The most powerful step you can take is the first one. It doesn't matter how small, what matters is that you start. Every great journey begins with a single step, every great feat with a single decision to move ahead. The entrepreneur who builds an empire starts with one idea, one sale, one customer. The writer who crafts a masterpiece starts with a single word on a blank page. The leader who transforms the world begins with a single act of bravery. Don't fall into the trap of overthinking or wait until you feel prepared. Readiness is a myth. Success isn't about feeling ready, it's about acting before you are. The moment you take that first step, you unleash a powerful force. Action creates momentum, momentum builds confidence, confidence leads to greater action, and soon what once seemed impossible becomes certain. There will be obstacles, setbacks, failures, but these aren't reasons to halt, they're reasons to keep going. Every mistake is a lesson, every failure a stepping stone. Those who persist despite challenges are the ones who rise to greatness. So ask yourself, will you be the one who waits or will you be the one who acts? Your future hinges on your answer. Success isn't about what you plan to do, it's about what you actually do. The time to act is now, not tomorrow, not someday, but now. Start small because nothing happens until you take that first step. Once you do, you'll realize that action, not just thought, not just words, is the true key to success. You have everything you need to succeed. The only question is, will you use it? Will you step into discomfort, do what's hard, or settle for mediocrity? The choice is yours, but remember, your time is now, not tomorrow, not someday, but now. Take charge, do what's hard, and watch as your life transforms.